बस पर
बताइए कुछ
नजीक करो,
नीचे करो,
नजीक
नजीक करो,
बस। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्. So let us chant verse number 7 of 13th chapter. Amanitvamadambhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyopasanam shaucham स्थैर्यमात्मविनिग्रहः. So these many values we have already seen. See, Bhagavan Lord Krishna, he is listing the qualities which will prepare the mind for knowledge. In the absence of all these values, I think 9 are already listed. Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Kshantihi, Arjavam, Acharyopasanam, Shaucham, Sthairyam, Atma, Vinigraha. So these 9 qualities are already shown by Bhagavan, listed by Bhagavan. And we have also already seen these in great detail. We have to keep in mind that these are the qualities. If they are there, amanitvam, adambitvam, etc., if they are there in the mind, then mind will be peaceful, absorbing, receptive, which is needed for the knowledge to take place. Now we will go further in verse number 8. We'll talk about other values now. So let us see verse number 8. Indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshanudarshanam. It is on page number 124 in the copies which you are given. Verse number 8, second page. Okay. So now Bhagavan is talking about other qualities. Which are they? One is Indriyartheshu. In this verse, 3 are given. Indriyartheshu Vairagyam, 1. Then Anahankara, 2nd. And third one is Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha, Dosha, Anudarshanam. The whole thing is one value. So other 3 values are given in this verse. Verse number 8. First one is Indriyartheshu Vairagyam. Indriyartheshu. Indriya means sense organs. And mainly here, Lord Krishna, by Indriya, he means sense organs of knowledge. We have sense organs of action also and sense organs of knowledge. This Chakshu, then Ghanendriya, Chakshurendriya, Rasanendriya, all of these are organs of knowledge. And legs, hands, etc. are organs of action. So what Bhagavan is talking about is that Indriya Artheshu, for the Indriya Artheshu Vairagyam. Vairagya means dispassion. Dispassion for what? For the objects of the senses. There should be in a sadhaka's life, in a seeker's life, there should be Vairagya or dispassion for what? For the objects of the sense organs. See, we have this eyes, ears, nose, this different sense organs are there. And there are objects pertaining to that in the world outside. We are given this organ Chakshurendriya to see. And there is this objects, color, etc. in the world. We have this organ of hearing and there is sound outside. We have this organ of smell and there is fragrance outside. We have this organ of taste and there are things outside. So, Bhagavan says, so these organs, sense organs have natural tendency, have natural attraction for their respective objects. Understand this. Sense organs have natural, what shall we say, natural attraction for the organs, for the objects in the world outside. But Lord Krishna says that you should have Vairagya for that. You should have dispassion for that. Now when we hear this word dispassion, we get scared. We get scared. Why do you talk about Vairagya? What is wrong in Raga? What is wrong in Raga? So by Vairagya, we need not get scared. Vairagya doesn't mean that you shun yourself off from the world. No, it doesn't mean that. Or that you condemn the world or you hate the world. Vairagya doesn't mean hating or condemning the world. No, this is a wrong connotation. Vairagya actually means a very, very healthy understanding about the creation, about the world, about the objects, and to have objective understanding, to see the objects or the creation as it is, without superimposing anything, without decrying it, or without adding any more value than what it has, is called Vairagya. So, objective perception is Vairagya. Not running away, not hating, but understanding this object for what it is. When you don't have that, when you don't see this object as it is quite possible that you develop attraction for this. And when you don't get it, it is quite possible that you develop hatred for this. This is not objective vision. By Vairagya, what is meant is see this object for what it is, factual seeing, objective seeing. And that is necessary in a seeker's life. Indriyartheshu Vairagya. Indriyartheshu means for the objects of this world there is dispassion. Now let us see why this is required. As I said, this mumukshu is seeking the knowledge of the self, and for the knowledge of the self you require the entire energy of the mind to be focused on what you want to know. You want to know the self, Atma or Brahman or Ishwar. All of this is very subtle, and therefore concentration of the mind, the entire energy of the mind has to be focused in this object which you want to know. Atma is of course not an object, but that which you want to know. Now, at the same time, mind cannot be inside as well as outside. Either the mind is focused towards the world, towards objects, or it is focused towards knowing the self, understanding self, knowing Ishvara, knowing the reality. So, it cannot be at the same time, simultaneously, it cannot be with the world also, and it cannot be at the same time focused in knowing the self. And therefore, we require that the mind should be focused on the self, and for that is required that it is not held up. It is not held up by the objects of the world. Because if there is attraction, if you are seeking something from the world outside, from the objects of the world, if you are seeking something, then mind will naturally go there. Sense organs will go there. And with the sense organs, mind will also go there. And the result is that you cannot focus it on the self. And that is why what is needed is Vairagya. Why is the mind going there? Why are our sense organs all the time focused outside? The reason or the cause is in ignorance, of course. What is the ignorance? That I am ignorant about the nature of the self. I am ignorant about who I am. Since I do not know that what I am seeking is in me, what I am seeking is to be found in the self. Since I am not aware of this, mind is naturally, sense organs are naturally focused outside. In Kathopanishad it is very clearly said, Paranchi khani vyatrunat swayambhuhu tasmat parang pashyati. It is said over there that because of ignorance, our sense organs are always out. Eyes are looking for good color. Ears are always looking for good sound. Tongue always wants good taste. Organ of smell wants good, organ of smell is looking for fragrance. So all of them are looking outside. Why? Because here there is void, here there is vacuum, and the world is promising me something. The entire creation promises me to give what I am seeking. And therefore, very natural tendency is for extrovertedness, bahirmukhita. It is there. But now we have to examine what? We have to examine whether this object, let us look upon this object as the entire world, whether does it have what I am seeking? I am constantly looking outside. I am constantly looking at the world to fulfill me, to give me some sensation, fascination, etc. Always my desire is that please fulfill me, please give me something. So my hands are always stretched out towards the world. But now let us examine. Let us examine this object and also our experiences so far to find out whether they have given me something or not. Since the time of my birth, we are going through so many varied experiences. We have enjoyed a number of objects. See, now we are carrying out pariksha. It is very clearly said in Mundak Upanishad that one should carry out pariksha. Paritaha ikshanam. Don't take anything for granted. We have already taken for granted that this has something which I want. But is it so? Is it really so? I am looking outside. I think this is very promising. It will give me what I need. That need is constantly there. I find myself to be wanting, to be lacking. I want love. I want security. I want happiness. Constantly I want, which means I am suffering from a sense of lack, which I cannot accept. Nobody can accept that, and there is this whole large world before me, and I try to fulfill my needs from this world outside, and these objects are beautiful, they also look very promising. But now, today, let us take a pause and examine whether it really has what I want. It looks very glamorous. It looks very promising. But does it really contain what I want? Let us look into squarely, look into our experiences, what we have gone through just of this life, not to talk about all the experiences that we went through in all the lives together. Let us see this. See, since the childhood, right from the childhood, at that age, my fascination was for objects of that kind, toys and chocolates and things of that sort. I have been enjoying them one by one by one by one. As I began to grow old, then when I became adolescent, then I was after different kind of objects. Objects changed, but that I was a seeker of happiness did not change. Understood? I was a seeker of happiness, constantly looking. As a child, I thought it is there in the chocolates and toys and this and that. We must have gone through so many objects. But still the desire remains. The desirer, objects of desire changed. At every stage, the objects of desire changed. But the desirer, D-E-S-I-R-E-R, that remained. Then I became young. Then objects were of different kind. Then middle-aged, still enjoying, still going through experiences. Now I want car, and I want house, and I want money, and I want a spouse, and I want children, and I want career, and all that fine. But even after enjoying a whole host of objects and going through so many experiences, are you still satisfied? Have anything brought an end to the set? Has anything really fulfilled you? Had it fulfilled me, I would not have looked for another object. In my whole lifetime, I did not find an object called happiness, an object containing happiness. Had I found it, why talk about me? Nobody but nobody, whether it is this Elon Musk or whoever, millionaire and billionaire, and nobody but nobody has been successful in finding objects in this, in finding the objects or happiness in this creation. Lasting happiness. We are not talking about temporary happiness. Temporary things may look like as if they are giving me something, but how long? Very soon I lose interest in them. However great the object may be, however great a person may be, however great a situation may be pleasant, etc. But very soon we get tired of it, we get used to it, and then we are back to square one. Now I want something new, something new, something new, something mind is very fanciful. Imagine, my whole lifetime has passed in this manner, and still this one has to discover. Sometimes if we don't take time out and take stock of our life, we cannot find out this. Otherwise we keep on enjoying objects after objects after objects and squandering our time and energy, and our whole life passes away this way. And still the desirer is there. The biggest tragedy is that the desirer is still there. What does that indicate? It indicates that the world does not have not only this world, Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, 7 worlds up and 7 worlds down. The entire creation doesn't have what I want. My seeking, my desire is for limitlessness, nothing but limitlessness. That is what I am seeking, and the entire creation is limited. How can limited world satisfy my desire for what? Limitlessness. Understand this very well. I want limitlessness. I have to understand that. And world can give me only limited. The entire creation is finite, and my desire is for infinite. Finite, the addition of finite can never result into infinite, can it? So what am I doing? If we analyze and examine life and the world in this manner, then we will develop what? Vairagya. Okay, it is fine. It is of use. It has objective value, yes, but it doesn't add anything to the subject. Objective value it has. Food satisfies my hunger. Water quenches my thirst. Money gives me some kind of comfort and some security. But what it cannot give me is lasting happiness. That is not possible because it doesn't have. The entire creation is mithya. The only source of happiness is Atma, the reality. When you understand this, then what do you develop? Then we develop Vairagya. Vairagya means now I don't hate this, but I use it, all right. But I don't expect that happiness from this which it doesn't have. It can give me some comfort, yes, use that. But I should know what it cannot give me. What it can give me and what it cannot give me must be very clear. When we don't realize this, our entire life goes away after what? After pursuing happiness in things which doesn't have. This is what Arjuna realized. He realized this in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, when he has come to fight and when he sees his siblings, his near and dear ones before him. At that critical moment, something happened. He was deeply grieved to fight with his own people. And that time, whatever happened, because of which his thinking, the direction of his thinking suddenly changed. It took a different turn. And what did he say? What did he feel? He said, oh my God, what am I doing all this for? I don't see how I am going to find any happiness from this world. Even if I gain the victory not only of this Hastinapur, but even if I get the kingdom of the entire three worlds, I don't see how this grief will go, how I will find lasting happiness. I don't see I will ever find it in the world outside. And then he developed Vairagya. Vairagya for what? Vairagya for having all this. I don't want it. When we don't understand this, we continue to search it there, continue to search it outside of me. It is going in altogether a wrong direction. It is altogether a wrong GPS, altogether a wrong map. Destination is this is where it is, and I keep on searching it outside. I will never find it. But when I have this insight, when we have this insight, We cannot come to know on our own that Atma is the source of happiness. That we cannot come to know on our own. For that we have to go to the teacher. But this much we can come to know. What? That things don't have what I am seeking. Everything is fine. That doesn't mean I start hating things. No. But I now know the nature of things. I have understood what life is, how people are, how things are. That much we can come to know, and that we have to discover. And everybody has enough scope and experiences to find this out. Everybody, in everybody's life, there are enough situations. If not in your life, you can observe others' life. And you can find this out, that this world is finite. Finite cannot give me infinite. Nahi adhruvaihi prapyate dhruvam hi tat. Nachiketa says this. From adhruva. Adhruva means that which is finite, that which is mortal, that which is not steady. How can that give me something steady? It is a losing game right from the beginning. And when we come to know, it's quite possible that our whole time and energy is already squandered. So, once in a while, take a pause. Take stock of your life. How much have I gained? And at what cost? How much have I paid for it? I have paid dearly. And what have I got? Very little. Very little. And that little I am not interested in anymore. It has taken away all my time. Big investment I made of my time, energy, emotions, what not. And today, what have I got? One has to do this exercise. Only when you do this exercise, and take your time. Take your time in carrying out this exercise. Nobody else will do for you. One has to do it oneself. Only then and then Vairagya will come. And Vairagya means, as I said, not turning away. Do your duty, perform your duties, live your life. But how? Dispassionately. I am doing what is to be done, but I am not seeking anything now. I will give, but I don't want, because I know it is not there. Understood? I know it is not there. Then our vision changes. Now I will look at the place where it is. Go to a teacher, because they know scriptures, they know where it is. I have been struggling. So you understood what Bhagavan is saying? Indriyarteshu vairagyam. May you develop this dispassion for the objects of the world. Where one should be very clear that dispassion doesn't mean tiraskaraha. Dispassion doesn't mean, I don't look at it. I'm afraid that if I look, I will get attached. No. That is a wrong thing. If I look at that, if I catch it, if I do this, if I live with people, then I will get attached. As a sadhana, it is fine. You may go through that discipline. Okay, we don't deny that. But if this clear understanding is not there, then we will continue our search for fulfillment in the world outside, in relationships, in money, in things like that, in objects. And that is an endless game. Endless game. As I said, endlessly you will do that. As it happened, that there in Bhajagovindam, that old man at the age of 82 is still cramming, mugging up the rules of grammar. Why? Wants to become a scholar. Behind that, what is there? That is seeking satisfaction. Seeking satisfaction, seeking fulfillment in being a scholar. Doing a thing there is nothing wrong in doing a thing, but what is your intention? What are you looking for? So Bhashyakar, Shankaracharya ji had to tell him that Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Moodamate. O dull-headed person, what are you doing? By hearting the rules of grammar, dukrum karane, nahi rakshati. Samprapte sannihite kale, nahi rakshati dukrum karane. When the time will come, and the time is going to come, it is lurking, it will come any time. At that time, this dukrum karane, these rules of grammar are not going to help you. What will help you? Ishvara, or whatever sadhana you have done. That will help you, not this. So, that is meant by indriyartheshu vairakyam. Very important, otherwise mind will go out. At any age, at any time, mind is going out for, it may, sometimes aimlessly also wander, and the full world, every day new things are coming out, new places to visit. World is full of all these attractions. If I give in to that, today this place, today I plan for this vacation, then tomorrow for which mountains? Rocky Mountains. This is in USA. Then I go there, then I go there, then I go. I keep myself occupied. One by Switzerland, this land. World is full. Nothing wrong in that. But why do you want it? Every day new car, every day new cell phone, 5G, 7G, 8G, 12G. There is no end to it, and I want everything. Because that is where happiness lies. That perception has to change. You may buy all the cell phones, use it. Technology is very good. But don't seek fulfillment in that. It definitely has objective value, but it doesn't have anything to offer to the very subject. Do you know the difference? It can help me in my life, okay, but it won't add to the core I. The core I is unhappy. To that cell phone is not going to add anything. Na karmana vardate no kaniyan. Yajnavalkya Brihadaranyaka, nothing can add to this, nothing can take away from this. Know that nature of the self, and for that you require a mind which is together, mind which is happy to be inside, mind which is not wandering everywhere. Today I want this and today I want, everything is attracting us. Now, with that kind of mind, which is running there and there and there and there, where is the time for the self? Where is the time for Ishvara? Not possible. You can't even take a name with focus. Nothing is possible. So, Vairagya is a very, very important quality which the mind should have. Again, we must be very clear about what vairagya. I don't hate, no, I hate people. I don't look at money. I don't know. Don't be afraid of anything. Be clear that it is this much, nothing more, nothing less. It has a value. Yes, very beautiful. Offer it at the feet of Ishvara. Fine. It cannot add anything to me, to I, the core I. No. Understood? So that is one. Indriyarteshu vairagyam. Then next one is which? Anahankara. See, the next quality is, next value is anahankara. Anahankara means absence of ahankara, absence of sense of individuality, absence of egotism. Here by ahankara, absence of ahankara, by that Lord Krishna doesn't mean that he has gained knowledge. Ahankara can go finally by knowledge only. By the knowledge of the self can ahankara go. But here that is not what is talked about. Because here Bhagavan is still talking about values. He is talking about the mind being fit. He is showing us the qualities or the values by which mind can be receptive. Mind is focused towards the self. The qualities which will help the mind remain focused towards the self. So naturally here ahankara, anahankara, absence of ahankara doesn't mean knowledge. What does it mean? It means absence of pride. And what kind of pride? See, ahankara is nothing but when a person is too proud of his qualifications, of his achievements, it shows that he has never given a thought to life. He has never given a serious thought to how this world is functioning. Otherwise, pride cannot exist. So why, when Lord Krishna says anahankara, absence of pride, what he means by that is absence of the sense that everything is achieved by me. There is sometimes, an intense pride or sense of individuality in somebody, in some people. They think that whatever they have gained in life is purely due to their efforts and their qualities and their intelligence. This is arrogance, nothing but arrogance or pride. Because coming to think of it, we find that if we happen to have some qualities, say for instance, we can write well, we can cook well, we can sing well, supposing. And if I think it is my special quality, I have worked for it, then we have to think twice. You did not create this voice which you have. Did you create the voice which you have? No. It has been given. Who taught you the swaras? There is a teacher who taught you. Yes, of course, you did riyaz and utilized that quality which you had. But behind that, so much has gone. Your parents could see this special quality in you and they gave you this training. Where did the money come from for that? Where did all the facility that you needed for it come from? So when we think in this manner, pride will be deflated. It cannot stand even for a second. That you people are in USA. The other day also I said, so many things your parents have sacrificed. Lot of education has been given. Opportunities came before you and you picked it up. But they appeared before you. Everybody doesn't have that. That means I have no business to claim the credit for what I have. I have no right to claim that it is due to me. Look at all that has gone behind. Look at the foundation, and in that everybody has their contribution. Our country, teachers, doctors, government, what not. So to think that I did it, it is purely ignorance. Bhagavan is talking about that. Because that bent of mind, that because of me, becomes an obstacle on your path. Lord Krishna clearly says in Gita, what? When the battle is going on, is about to start, and Arjuna expressed his desire. Arjuna became very, 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 very demanding. He first said, describe to me all your glories. Bhagavan did that in the 10th chapter. Then he said, I want to see your cosmic form. He made the demand that I want to see your cosmic form, Virat Swarupa. Bhagavan said, okay, I will show you that also. He showed. And he gave him those eyes also, that vision also. And then, after seeing beautiful things, suddenly the gear changed. Slowly the gear changed. And then Bhagavan took a very fierce Swarupa. He said, Kalosmi lokakshayakrit pravruddhaha. I am Kalaha. Kalaha means I am the time which is going to devour everything. Now that time has come. He became so fierce, and Arjuna is seeing that everybody from the Kauravas side and even this side, everybody are plunging into the mouth of Ishvara. He got scared. But Bhagavan said, nobody is going to survive. The people of whom you are afraid or doubtful as to how Bhishma Pitama can be killed. Because all of them were great people, having all kinds of boons. Bhishma Pitamaha, Karna, Jarasanga, all of them. Bhagavan said, Mayai vaite nihatav purvameva. Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. He said, I have already killed them. Even the war has not begun as yet. But Bhagavan is, I have maya eva ete nihitaha. All of them are already killed by me. But, which means what? You have to kill these people who are already killed. But I am giving the credit to you. The work is done by me. The work is already done by me. But Yasho Labhasva, you take the credit. Who will give you credit? Nobody gives credit. Everybody wants to take the credit. But Bhagavan is so generous. But he is revealing a big fact that Bhagavan is doing everything. It is within his laws. The first day we talked about that. It is within his I'll give you an example. I am speaking. But when can I speak? Have I created this organ of speech? Do I know how the vocal cords are working? Can I do that? At the most, whatever system is there, I am using it and the sound is being produced. But I have not created that. My eyes are seeing. Can I create this eyes? Wonderful creation. Can I do that? We have no idea how this is working. Who has placed all this mechanism and given it to us? Who has done that? Ishvara. Ishvara has done all this. Which means, what am I being proud of? I did this and I created this. And I merely am using. I am merely an instrument. Nimitta matram. Lord Krishna says, you just be an instrument. So to be proud of something, when you are not humble, you miss many things. We have to be grateful and not proud. When we are proud, we miss many things. We miss the sacrifices and all the things we have received from others. So, being humble is a good quality. They say, no, knowledge always looks nice with vinayena shobhate. It is beautified when humility is there. So, the second quality is indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha. Then, now comes janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. This is whole one thing. What does it mean? Bhagavan says, may you again and again deliberate upon the dukkha contained in janma, mrityu, jara and vyadhi. What is Bhagavan saying? Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, dukkha anudarshanam. Anudarshanam, which means may you reflect again and again upon what? Dukkha. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, dukkha. The dukkha, the pain that is there, contained in janma, in birth, in death, in old age and disease and dukkha's. There is nothing but dukkha in all these things. May you reflect upon them. Why? Why should we reflect upon this? Why? Because only then and then there will be a desire to come out of it. When I can see the amount of pain that is contained in janma for me and my mother. Janma is not an easy thing. Before that, before you come out, you are in the womb of the mother. Just imagine a small constricted place like a womb. There you are upside down. And they say, scriptures say, that the jiva goes through a lot of pain at that time. It's good that he forgets everything. Once he is out, he forgets everything. May you see the pain that is contained in janma. And then what? With janma comes what? Who is the companion of janma? Mrityu. Moment janma is, nobody can escape mrityu. Mrityu means death. And who likes mrityu? Who likes death? Nobody but nobody. Because it means end. It means an end. So, janma, and in death also lot of pain. They say, And we see this also. Some people, pass away very easily. Heart attack, massive attack. We don't know that they are not going through pain. Who certifies? He doesn't come back to tell us anything. I went through this and I went through that. Nobody is coming and telling us anything. But there is pain. Janma, mrityu, and in between. And supposing, even if in death, supposing if you think there is no pain, then what about jara? The longer you evade mrityu, then who comes? Old age. Old age is nothing but pain. In as much as, problem in sitting, problem in getting up, problem in walking, problem in standing, problem in seeing, problem in hearing, problem in digesting, problems and problems, problems galore. Old age means problems. You can't see anything, you have to ask, what is there? Can't hear anything properly. Can't eat, you have everything with you, but can't eat. When you were very fine, that time things were not there. That time things were not there to enjoy. And now things are there, but I don't have the capacity to enjoy. Old age means you lose capacity. Pranas don't work, stomach doesn't work, acidity, headache, backache, what not. And longer it goes, more problems multiply day by day. BP and diabetes and this and that and Alzheimer. Imagine. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi. Even if, supposing I am not old, I am young enough, fit, which pain is there? You never know. You never know. Vyadhi can come at any age. We hear young people also contracting terminal diseases. Disease can't come at any time. You never know. We have seen this in 2 years. Pandemic showed us everything. Young people were also caught, couldn't breathe, and imagine nobody being around you when you need them most. Quarantine, isolation, nobody can be with you. People were scared. Half of them died because of that. Half of them died because nobody is there. Big thing, no? And it can happen to anyone, even children die. Janma, mrityu, and dukkhas. Dukkhas are always there. Lifelong companion. Dukkha is a lifelong companion. At any age, any time, it is there. Bhagavan is saying, may you reflect upon this. No, life is like that only, Swamini ji. Life means like that. Chalta hai. Life is like that. What is wrong with that? As long as you say what is wrong with them, then enjoy. Then continue. Then continue with this. One life, another life. Life after life will go on like this only. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu. Dhruvam janma mrutasya cha. For one who is born, death is definite, and for one who dies, birth is definite. You have it. Continue with this. Chalne do. Why Bhagavan is saying? To create a sense of urgency. May you see the pain involved in each of the stages and try to find a way out of it. Only when we are not happy with what is going on, then we will look for a solution. But supposing everything is fine, no problem, then what? If we don't find any problem, then we will not look for any solution. That is why Bhagavan says, may you see this pain at every stage and try to look for a solution. Then further, verse number 9. These are all values which we have to develop, which we have to cultivate. So what are we told in the last value? May you deliberate upon the pain contained in Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. As a result, you will want to find a solution. You will look for a solution. Then now verse number 9. We'll read that. Asaktirana Vishwangaha Putradara Gruhadishu Nityam cha samachittatvam Ishtanishtopapatishu. See, now Bhagavan is saying asaktihi. Another value is asakti. Asakti means absence of sakti. Sakti means attachment. Asakti means absence of that. Sakti means, here two values are given, asakti and anabhishvangaha. Both means the same, but since Bhagavan has used two words, we will give different meanings for that. Asakti means absence of attachment for what? For things and assets that we have, Sometimes we have attachment towards people, but that will be talked about in the next value. Here by asakti, what is meant is sometimes we are very in a very strong manner attached to things, our house, our assets, our land, and we are worried about them. If little bit also is, if I have no control over it, then it disturbs my mind. So Bhagavan says one should develop a dispassion towards even things around us, even things which we think belongs to us. Nothing belongs to us. I cannot claim ownership of anything. I may think that this house is mine, but in reality nothing belongs to us. We are just given things. So give up this steadfast, strong attachment for things, for gold the other assets that we have, land we have, houses we have, strongly attached to all this. This also becomes a big obstacle. So give that up by cultivating sense of trusteeship, I'm merely a trustee. I'm not owner of this. I'm merely a trustee. Trustee means what? Who is the trustee? Who just looks after. But it doesn't belong to him. He knows that. I'll give you an example. There were two friends, and one of them went to USA, and he's doing very well over there. But he had a house in India, and so he gave away that house to his friend. And he gave away means he said you can use it, so that it is in good condition, because if somebody is there then it will remain in good condition. So you can live there, pay taxes and whatever, and you look after my house. I will be there in US, and when I come back you can give it to me. The friend was fine with it. He was paying taxes and doing whatever is needed. Then that friend, the friend of his who is in USA, he was doing very good business, and he decided to stay over there only, permanently. So he writes to his friend that now I am not coming back to India, and I gift this house to you. So far you were just looking after it, but now it belongs to you. This friend of his was overjoyed. And now his perception towards this house has changed. Now he comes home and looks at the house from all the directions. Here we will build a fence, how beautiful, and he goes and asks to the that estate broker, what is this house worth, what is the worth of this house, etc. Now everything has changed. Why? Because I am the owner. So far let it be, I am just living here. I need not do anything much, because I just occupy this place. One day I have to give it back, but now it belongs to me. So nothing should happen. We'll take great care of this. Immediately, when a thing belongs to you, your bent of mind is different. Your mind is, we are worried. Sometimes people, they don't come to classes. Why? We have to look after the house. Water will come. In India, many times, we can't. Because there are so many thieves, etc. They can come. So we have to be there. Somebody has to be at home all the time. So for a house, you are so attached. For things, you are so attached that mind is not available for what you have to do. For the goal of life, mind is not available for this inert things. These inert things become so important in your life that you sacrifice something which is most important. So what kind of relationship should we have with the things around us? I am just an owner. I am just a trustee. Asakti. Then comes anabhishvangaha. Next value is anabhishvangaha. Anabhishvangaha means absence of excessive attachment. For what now? For people around us. Absence of excessive attachment for our near and dear ones, which means anasakti. See, when people live together, which is needed in life, relationships are very important. People are bound together by certain relations, mother, daughter, parents, children, spouse, etc. But the nature of these relations is such, that if we are not careful, then it becomes so important and we get attached to it so much that is only life. My life is nothing but my children and my husband and my this and my that. As if life is nothing more than that. Nothing wrong in taking care of your children. Nothing wrong in taking care of each other. That we must always do. But at the back of our mind, in the corner of our mind, what should be there? That this is not all. We are just together for some time. And at time, because of certain karmas, we have come together, and when those karmas are over, we will again be separated. Which means what? We should always keep a distance in the mind. This is not everything. I have to go one day. This is not forever. Just like, we meet in train, we are all going together, then there are many other passengers also. Then when my station comes, I get down. And when we were together, we were enjoying talking and eating and everything, sharing everything. But when my station comes, I get down. We are all together. Karmas have brought us together. But don't get attached. Don't plunge into it so much that you cannot come out of it. And even when you are there in it, it should not deprive you for the higher goal. Our journey, we should always proceed towards our journey. Nobody should be able to stop us from that. We have our destination. Best is we will go together. We complement each other in this journey. That doesn't mean, being together doesn't mean that I stop you. On the contrary, I help you. I help you. Complement each other. But what happens when this kind of awareness is not there? When you love someone, then you become very possessive. You become very demanding. And you try to control. When this is not understood, in our relationships with near ones, the attachment is so much, then it turns into you are insecure afterwards. What will happen? And if that person goes out, then you are afraid. What must if the son has not come, then mother begins to, maybe something has happened. Maybe accident, bolo. Accident must have happened. Something immediately. All this shows nothing but excessive attachment. Excessive attachment is not good. That doesn't mean I don't take care. I take care, I look after them, everything. Yes, but that is my duty. I do it with love and care. But my mind should not all the time be concerned about them. There are higher concerns in life. Bhagavan says, I am going to take care of everything. Why are you so concerned? What will happen? What will happen? I am there to take care. You apply your mind elsewhere. Not all the time in wife and children and this and that. No. This should not be misunderstood. But living your life, performing your duties, remain dispassionate. Remain detached. Jala kamalavat. That lotus is in the water, but still the water doesn't touch that leaf. Similarly, we are in this life, performing our duties, but at the same time, we do not forget as to what the goal of life is. In this manner, we have spent so many lives. In Bhagavatam, there occurs an incident where a king, his son passed away. After many years, he got a prince. And then he dies. The king and queen, they are crying like anything. They are totally broken. And they go to a sage and then tell him and demand that you blessed. And then why did this happen? Now somehow bring him back. By hook or crook, bring him back. The sage said, you cannot do this. Your demand is not proper. But somehow, because he was king, so with his powers, that rishi, that sage, gave him the darshana of the child. The child is saying to the king, why are you stopping me? Why do you stop me? Let me go on my journey. Do you know that in the past, in the earlier life, I was your father? He says, in the earlier life, I was your father and you were my son. These relations are not forever. Now we are like this. Now mother, now son, these things change. Something brings us together and then separates us. It is easy to say. All these are easy things to say, but nevertheless true. It is true. So, at the back of our mind, in the corner of our mind, in the background, this should always be there. That everybody has to go one day. Let me prepare for that. Let me be prepared. My duties and my relations should not become an obstacle. When Narsi Mehta's wife passed away, what did he say? Okay, fine. Now I will have more time for taking Ishvara's name. That doesn't mean he didn't like her. That doesn't mean he wanted to get rid of her. No. That mental strength, inner strength was there. Lastly, Nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu. Very, very important value. Nityam cha samachittatvam. In verse number, this verse number 9, second line. See, the value is Nityam cha samachittatvam ishta anishta upapattishu. What is Bhagavan saying here? Maintain the sameness of mind, samachittatvam, sameness of mind, composure of mind, when ishta anishta upapattishu, when there are pleasant situations and when there are unpleasant situations. In both pleasant and unpleasant situations, maintain the composure of mind. Maintain the equilibrium of the mind. How come? Why? Because life can bring any kind of situations. If when pleasant things happen, if I get elated, then very soon unpleasant situations will also occur, and then I will be depressed. The mind which is constantly riding on these waves of elation and depression cannot learn, cannot be with itself, cannot be abiding. So you have to maintain that balance, sameness of mind, whether good or bad. I don't control the result. Result is being, karma phala is being controlled by Ishvara. Bhagavan says, ma phaleshu kadashana. Result is not in your hands. It comes according to prarabdha. I am the giver. Sukha dukkhe same krutva. Labha labho jayajo. Whether it is happiness or unhappiness remains same. Why? It can be like this. Be factual. Don't look upon the situation in such a manner that you want to change it. You want to change it all the time. There is a very beautiful story of Greek literature which very well exemplifies this, There was a Greek philosopher and he was waiting for a ship to come which was bringing his wife and children and all his wealth, etc. And he was waiting for the message to come that yes, they are arriving. And suddenly somebody knocks the door and says, knocking very vigorously. So he opened the door and he said, what happened? The fellow who has come, messenger, he says, sir, the ship which was coming, bringing your children and wife and all your wealth, etc., has sunk. Has sunk. This philosopher says, what? And then says, so what? His first response was, what? And then, so what? Then that fellow, messenger, says, sir, you have lost your only child. What? Then next moment, so what? You are now penniless. You are on the roads. What? Then, so what? When he says what, that doesn't mean he has not heard. He doesn't have problem with his hearing. But he could not accept. It was denial. He could not accept. But for him, it did not take much time to accept. So second response was, so what? So what means even this can happen. Even this can happen. I cannot change it. Money is gone. Okay, I will make it again. Children are gone. Wife is gone. I cannot do anything about it. What can I do? Not in my hands. That means whether the situation is good or bad, he is not driven up and down. Has control. We can't control the situation, but we can have a say over our minds. That is the strength. That is the real strength. The real strength is not in changing the situations. We cannot do that. But the real strength is in being non-reactive and welcoming any situation. Why? Because that is in that I have no say. Bhagwan does it. So what is the gain in this value? Your mind is intact. Your mind is not affected regardless of the situation. Life and its vicissitudes cannot unsettle you. It cannot unsettle you. Otherwise, people get depressed. Nowadays we find so many such cases. As if depression is common thing. Even a child is in depression. That is what we hear. Which means people have become so weak. People are getting weaker and weaker and weaker day by day. Not ready to face. Not a good thing. Nothing is in your control. Very less is in your control. And if you cannot face it, then what? Life will unsettle you. So, remain composed. Be ready. We wish it should not happen. But if it happens, you can't do anything about it. And if you keep reacting, then you cannot do anything. You cannot retrieve the situation in any manner. Lord Rama, imagine when he was told on the previous night, he came to know that he is going to be coronated. When he was told that, Vasishtha-ji came and told him that you are going to be coronated next morning. He did not start shouting all kinds of things, nothing. And then next day he was told to go to the forest for how many days? For how many years? 14. Not a joke. And still no depression. The composure of his mind or a face did not change. Did not change, remained as it is. This is not easy. But even when we are depressed, we cannot do anything. On the contrary, we lose everything. So Bhagwan says that Nityam cha samachittatvam. Maintain that composure of mind. That is a value. Then your mind is intact. In spite of the situations, you do what is to be done. At least you have your present in your hands. Future you can make with that. What you have before you is the result of the past. But if you can encash this, you have made your future. So, these are the values. We still have some values which we will talk tomorrow. Still verse number 10 and 11 we will be doing tomorrow. Thank you. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।
आज पूज्य श्री ने बहुत बढ़िया भगवान के बारे में इतनी शक्ति है। मैंने गीता के